Pastor Dan here with our seventh installment from our series called Faith Pleasing to God. This one today is going to be called Who Can This Be? And as you remember, as we go through this series, all these accounts from the Bible are designed to strengthen your faith and your trust and your reliance upon Jesus Christ. You know that the word says, I say it at every installment, Romans 10:17, faith comes by hearing, and hearing by the word of God. So the more that you hear the word of God, the more that you take it in and read it, your faith in Jesus becomes stronger. And we also say, Hebrews 11:6, without faith, it is impossible to please him. For he who comes to God must believe that he is, and that he is a rewarder of those who diligently seek him. So faith pleases God. That's what this series is all about. And this account that we are in today is found in Mark chapter 4, verse 35 through 41. Just a short little story. I hope that you get the scene here, the picture. It says in verse 35, on the same day, when evening had come, he said to them, that's Jesus, let us cross over to the other side. Now, when they had left the multitude, many people had been following, they took him along in the boat as he was, and other little boats were also with him. You got the picture. He's going over to the other side. He gets in the boat. Disciples get in the boat. Other little boats are following. There's a multitude. They just want to follow Jesus. There's lots of cool things happening when you follow Jesus. But you need to remember what he said to the disciples as they got into the boat. Let us cross over to the other side. He knew what was about to happen. And he had no doubt that they were going to get to the other side. Maybe that's what he says to you today, is telling you something. We're going to go over to the other side, or we're going to do this, or such and such. When he says that, you can count on it. You're going to get to the other side. Just something to think about. What happens next? Verse 37, a great windstorm arose, and the waves beat into the boat so that it was already filling. So a storm comes up in the sea. Jesus did know that storm was going to happen, but it's a big storm. Waves are beating into the boat. This is written for us. You know, maybe you're not out in a boat right now, but maybe your life feels kind of like a boat, like you're in a boat in a storm. And the waves are beating against the boat, and the boat is filling up, and things don't look good. And so if you have faith in Jesus, you'll know he's written this for us so that we might know who we can trust. What happens? First of all, let's see what he's doing. Verse 38, but he was in the stern of the boat, and he was asleep on a pillow. During the middle of a storm, he's asleep. And maybe you're saying, well, it's a great time for you to be sleeping. And maybe that's the way you feel about what he's doing right now in your life. He's asleep. But it says here that he's asleep on a pillow. They woke him up and said to him, Teacher, do you not care that we are perishing? And that's it right there. You might be saying that today. I don't think God cares that I'm falling apart here, that my house is being shaken up, that my boat is falling apart, that I'm experiencing a storm. It seems like God doesn't care. Maybe you even said that today. I don't think God cares, but he does care. And he gives us these scriptures so that we can know that he does care and that he has full control over the storm. Remember what I'm entitling this, who can this be? That's what the disciples end up asking. Well, let's see what happens. Then he arose and he rebuked the wind and said to the sea, Peace, be still. And the wind ceased, and there was a great calm. What a verse. You should underline, circle that, put it on the refrigerator. Peace, be still. That's what he says. He says to the storm, he is able to do that. You might not be able to. I'm pretty sure that you're not able to speak to a storm. I know I'm not able, but he is able to speak to a storm. It says, "Peace, be still." The wind ceased, and there was a great calm. There was great calm. And that's what you want to experience, that great peace. Even in the midst of a trial or tribulation, there is peace. Then he asks a question that he asks of us of today. But he said to them, "Why are you so fearful? And how is it that you have no faith?" See, faith and fear don't go together. If you're shaking in your shoes, then you're not trusting the Lord. And he tells us in the middle of a storm, you can trust him. Why are you so full of fear? Everybody experiences fear in some way or another. But are you full of it? And do you let it take over? Are you letting it rule your spirit and in your life? Is there no peace? He says, "Why are you so fearful?" The Son of God asks you that. How is it that you have no faith? It reminds me of a verse that was sent to me today, found in Jeremiah 17:7. It says, "Blessed is the man who trusts in the Lord and whose hope is the Lord. For he shall be like a tree planted by the waters, which spreads out its roots by the river, will not fear when heat comes, but its leaf will be green, and will not be anxious in the year of drought, nor will cease from yielding fruit." What a great verse. I read that early on in my walk with the Lord, and I've got it underlined. I love this verse. But it says, trusting in the Lord, and whose hope is the Lord. Not even hope in the Lord, it's hope is the Lord. And what kind of person will you be? You'll be like a tree planted by the waters, doesn't care when there's a drought, doesn't care when Wall Street falls, doesn't care when everything around him is crumbling, because he is rooted in the Lord. So trust in the Lord. And then in verse 41, it finishes, "And they feared exceedingly and said to one another, who can this be, that even the wind and the sea obey him?" Just got back from a trip where we saw the Grand Canyon, and we saw some amazing things that God has done. And it makes me ask that question, who can this be? Hey, the one who can put the stars into place, who can count the number of sand is on a beach, on any beach, on every beach. He knows everything. He knows your name. He knows the storm that you're in. So my encouragement to you today is to trust the Lord, have faith in him, call out to him. It's okay. He knows. You can say, "Lord, don't you care?" And he'll say, "Yes, I do." And maybe he'll speak to your storm today. God bless you. Have a great day.